This is Gemara Berachos, Daf Mem Dalid Amud Aleph Amud Yomi. As you begin from the Mishnah on the top of the Amud, says the Mishnah, "If you lefanav a maliach tchilam, they bring in front of someone a maliach, a very salty item, upasi mai, and there's bread with it. So we know the rule, of course, that you make a bracha on the ikar and the pater is the tafel, and we're usually accustomed to that the bread is always the ikr. But here it teaches the Mishnah that the bread is merely eaten as an auxiliary, as a holder, as a sidebar to the salty item. Not even a sidebar, almost just as an aid for the salty item to get into one's mouth. Mavarich al maliyach. Believe it or not, to pater sabas, you pater up the bread. Shabbos tefillah, because somehow the bread becomes auxiliary. Zahaklal. So of course the rule over here is more important than the particular case, as within the case how to apply it when, if and when we'll have a scenario of such a salty item and you're just having the cracker, the bread, just to get that item down is not going to be so common or completely uncommon at all, but the rule is very relevant. Says the Gemara, is there ever such a scenario? When you're eating the fruit of the ginaiser, which are very, very sweet, so you're only having a little bit of bread to get the fruit down. When we're eating this fruit, if we had 100 people, the Rabbi Yochanan, each one would take 10 fruit, and we would have 1,000 fruits. When we were 10 people, everyone would take 100 fruit. So again, we would have 1,000 fruits. And the fruits were so big, 100 of them are in a basket of 3 saw, massive, massive fruits, massively sweet fruits. These pears, we eat them, and we would think we didn't even eat anything. Sweetness so much that we barely tasted, barely realized the fact that we ate it, almost like, that extra heaping of dessert. Says the Gemara, Yunis do you really think that he didn't think he ate any food he put in his mouth? What do you mean he didn't think he ate any food? Means he didn't feel like he's full because of the fact that it is so sweet. Rav Avua, says the Gemara, Rav Avua achalei, we're about 15 lines down. The first one line is Ela Ema Mizayna. Rav Avua achalad havi sharik lei dudva me'apute. He ate these fruits until a fly would slip off his forehead. Basically, he ate so much fruit and these fatty foods that the pores of his skin were oozing from the oils, and therefore a fly would just fly right off. A little bit wild. Till their hair would fall out. Till he became crazy. Rav Yochanan would tell the Benesiya, and Rav Yudan Nesiya would send troops after Reish Lakish and Ma'aseh Lebesi. They were turning back home because in his crazed state he would walk away, run away, and they wanted to take care of him. Ki asa Rav Dimi, smack in the middle of the Amud. The first one line is asa. When Rav Dimi came to Babel from Eretz Yisrael, Amar Ir Achas Haisel El Yanei HaMelech L'Har HaMelech. Yanei HaMelech is a specific city on Har HaMelech. She'emitzim Enoshishim Riboy Siflei Taris. They take out 600,000 bowls of sliced taris tuna. They koitze teina to feed the fig pickers. Erev Shabbos. There are so many people that are picking figs. That is the incredible amount of food needed to feed the workers that are picking the figs. Kasser Rav Dimin, of course, is showing the incredible abundance of fruits there were on this place, Har HaMelech. Kiasa Ravin Amar Ilan Echad Sheyoliane Melch Melch. He had a certain tree. Sheyamaridim Imenu Arbam Sa Goizalais. They bring down 40 saw of pigeons. Mishal Brechos B'Chodesh. 3 different brechos, 2 different broods per month. Kiasa Rav Yitzchak Amar Yerachas Eisver Yisrael V'Gof Neshama. Sheyabas Shemayim Zugiais Achim Kahanim, there were 80 pairs of brothers, and Suda Shvanazukas Achois Kitanois, married to 80 pairs of sister Kahanois. Ubadkir Rabbanim Yisur and Adav Lashcha, they checked into them, and they didn't find any case similar. Barmim Midasi Rav Chista, Tavin Sivan Elorami Bar Chama, Ukva Bar Chama, which the sisters, the daughters were married to brothers. Avgav, they knew Avi Kanasa, Inu Lo Avi Kanasa. But even in that case of Chista wasn't exactly the same. They were not both Koyahanim. Amar Rav, Kol Sudas Shem Melech Eno Suda. A Suda that salt is not a Suda. Amar Rav Chibar Rav Rav Yechol Suda Shein Ba Sarif. Doesn't have a soup. Enoi Suda. Before we begin the next Mishnah, what exactly was that story that there were 80 pairs of Kohanois married to 80 girls? This just shows that we're talking about the Mailas of Eretz Yisrael. This was the Mailan Yochsin, how pure they tried to keep everyone. We continue with the Mishnah towards the bottom of the narrow lines. Someone ate grapes, figs, and pomegranates of Arich Acharehem Shalosh Brachas. You say Al Ha'etz. Divrei Rav Gamliel Chamayim Bracha. Excuse me, you say incorrect. Shalosh Brachas, you bench. Rav Gamliel comes along and he says, no, Bracha Achas mean Shalosh, you say Alez. Rav Kiva Amar Afilu Achal Shalek. Whom is if he ate a cooked vegetable and he's full of Varach Shalosh Brachas, broadening how far the bracha of the benching goes, says Rav Kiva, even if you're full on cooked veggies. Shaisa Mayim Litzama, if someone drinks water to quench his thirst, Varach Shaikolni Abitvarai. Tarfin Amar Bari Nefashis Rabbis V'Chesrai. V'Chesrai nice, and we know that we do both. One before and one after. Says the Gemara, excuse me. My Taima de Rav Gamliel. We're in the first medium-sized line of Memdal and Menalef. What is the reason for Rav Gamliel that after having the Zayin Minim you bench? You say the three brachas of Berachat Amazon, the Chsev Eretz Chita Soira, and then the Torah says Chsev Eretz Shalom Yiskanot Lechem, land in which you'll eat bread and you'll have no money issues. So the semichas of all these psukim show us that even on the Shivas Aminim we're going to bench. V'Rabbanan Eretz Ifseke Inyan Eretz breaks it up, showing us that the benching does not go on all of them, does not go on the Shivas Aminim, only on the pas. Rav Gamliel, Nami, what does Gamliel say? Rav Gamliel, he knows that the word Eretz is repeated, and yet Rav Gamliel in the Mishnah said you have to bench for the Zayin Minim. Eretz Hifseka Inyan. So according to Rav Gamliel, what does he say? If Eretz splits it up, how does he learn that you have to bench? Answers the Gemara, it's coming for a different din. The extra word Eretz is coming to teach us that if one chews wheat, he does not bench. Anything from the 5 grains, it's like we just saw that there would be an al-8 after having the Zayin Minim. And we wrap up today's shir. We're on the last narrow, medium-sized line. Amrle Abaye l'Rav Dimi. My niu bracha achzlin shalosh. What is this bracha achzlin shalosh? What is al-8? What is al-mechi? Amrle Rav Dimi responded apure the 8. It's on the 7, on the Zayin Minim of the fruits of the trees. Al-8, Val-Priya-8. That's what you say. What is this bracha So we see that he starts off and then he adds in the regular text that we know of our Alamicha, the Chamishas Minim. What do you do if you're having the regular grains? Then you say Alamich Valkikola, and then Valtunus Asad, then you continue the whole Alamicha v'Chaisim, and you end off Alaret Yalamichya. Mechtam b'may Chasim, and how do you conclude? That what would you do? You would end off that it's all considered one Rav Chasim Barish Chaydesh Baruch Mekadosh Yisrael Rosh Chadashim. That even though it's Rosh Chaydesh, Rav would end and put the two of them together. So Hachamai, what did Rav do by us? Amar Rav Amram v'loy pligi halahu. Rav Yochanan was in Eretz Yisrael, therefore he says al aretz val peiros, whereas val peiros sell, whereas Rav Yochanan, again, Rav Yochanan that said al aretz the al ha peiros was talking about in Eretz Yisrael the fruits. When we're outside of Eretz Yisrael, al aretz val peiros sell referring to the fruits of Eretz Yisrael. Maskala Rav Nachor Yitzchak, what do you mean? Enu achli v'anam v'rachina. What's going on over here? It sounds like that you're making a bracha for someone who didn't eat. Al peiros on its fruits. Al epach. Switch it around. Al chistam al aretz al peiros. In Bavel, you say al ha peiros. Yochanan al aretz al peiros seha. Its fruits. If you're in Eretz Yisrael, you're thinking Hashem for its fruits. Al peiros seha. And that's the way Lamaisa we're going to do. We'll pick it up on Mendal and Mabeis B'siyata Dishmaya.